6:34 PM रेडियो जिंदगी पर आप हैं स्वाति के साथ. जी हाँ, टेक चाय विद डॉक्टर सैम. जी हाँ, लिटिल बिट ऑफ चेंज इन फ्लेवर ऑफ योर चाय टुडे. रोशनी की जगह पर आप सुन रहे हैं आरजे स्वाति को. मेरे साथ हैं हर हफ्ते की तरह. दिस शो एयर्स एवरी ट्यूसडे 3:30 to 4. टेक चाय विद डॉक्टर सैम. हेलो एंड वेलकम डॉक्टर सैम. कैसे हैं आप?
मैं बहुत बढ़िया हूँ. Thank you so much for being on the show, Swati. I've heard from everybody that you're the top rocking star for the Zindagi.
वैसे ये शो है टेक प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए. एवरीवन that wants to be current with whatever is happening in the tech world, they must tune into the show. डॉक्टर सैम आते हैं हर ट्यूसडे 3:30 से 4 बजे तक और वो है फाउंडर ऑफ स्ट्रैटेजिज्म को. और आज आप एक बहुत ही खास हस्ती को लेके आए हैं. हर हफ्ते आप खास हस्तियों को लेके आते हैं यहाँ पर जिन्होंने एकदम तोड़ फोड़ मचा दी है टेक इंडस्ट्री में. आज भी ऐसी एक हस्ती को लेके आए हैं हम रेडियो जिंदगी 1550 AM पर. एंड आई लेट यू इंट्रोड्यूस आवर स्पेशल गेस्ट ऑफ दिस डे.
Awesome, fantastic. So, जिस तरह हर हफ्ते हम किसी न किसी टेक की हस्ती को लेके आते हैं, जैसा आपने बताया. Today, the tech हस्ती, the techie of the week, is none other than Pooja Jain. And she comes from Google, and she's the AI and prompt engineering head as a part of the team there, and she's doing some amazing stuff in the most happening technology with one of the most happening magnificent 7 companies, $2 trillion, $3 trillion companies, and this is where the action is. This is where the mojo is. So we are very honored to have her on the show. Welcome to the show, Pooja.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sam. I feel amazing. The welcome was amazing, and I am incredibly thankful to you, to Swati, and for Radio Zindagi for having me.
Awesome, fantastic.
All right, so we'll get started. तो बहुत ही जर्नी के बारे में हम आपके बारे में सीखेंगे. डॉक्टर सैम told us about what you do now, but कहाँ से ये जर्नी शुरू हुई from your days at Berkeley till today? If you can tell us, because we have only half an hour and there's so much to learn about you. If you can just get us started with your journey so far.
Absolutely. So won't take 30 years to elaborate my life, but 3 minutes probably. I'm from Delhi, always was there, grew up, born and brought up there, went to college in Delhi, came here for my master's from UC Berkeley. So always been in Bay Area. I can't believe it's been a decade of living in the most magnificent city in the whole world. And I know I'm making some controversial statements because New York lovers are gonna question me. But guys, SF is Bay Area is truly the best. Then from UC Berkeley, I had an amazing tech journey, and then after a few years, I am now at Google. And this is the best time of the entire history in life to be working in AI. You cannot imagine the days where you would open Gmail and then you would write, "Hi, Swati," and Swati would automatically auto-populate, and you wouldn't have to think. That was machine learning 10 years ago. And so it was always there. It was just ubiquitous. We didn't realize it will come to a world where we will be talking about it full-fledged. So I'm very honored to be here.
Absolutely, that was very well said. But then, Dr. Sam, you said she's the techie of the week. But what makes her the techie of the week? हमने journey के बारे में पता चला what she does today. But आपने कैसे select किया उनको? What are the qualities that techies of the week have?
Absolutely, and I would like to pick on the word that she used, ubiquitous.
जी.
So 20 years ago, when I was doing my PhD, I heard this word ubiquitous computing, and there was a professor from MIT, Nicholas Carr, who wrote a paper, utility computing. And that was that computing will become utility. And I said, wow, what does that mean? It will be like electricity. And today we are seeing that, and we are seeing that it's everywhere, ubiquitous, right? So, and that's the reason she's one of the top-notch speakers in this space, and she's been a thought leader for Gemini, and she's a speaker at many conferences, and she's written many articles in reputed journals. She's won the International Quality Award 2024, Golden Glory Award 2020. So there's a long list of things that she's done. She's internationally recognized scholar, innovator, pioneer in the field of AI and the emerging technologies, studied at Stanford, Berkeley, like she said, and she's a global, they say, global trotter, and there's another word for it in nowadays, the digital nomad. And why I say that, because starting from Delhi in India, she's here right now in Mountain View and Fremont, but other than that, she's been in Toronto and Vancouver and Newark. So she goes wherever the footprint of AI and the technology goes.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
In 2025, I think AI is a word that's become a household name. आप कोई conversation नहीं कर सकते जिसमें आपने AI के बारे में नहीं बताया. तो you are at Google, and that's at the very sweet spot of technology when it comes to AI. मतलब पूरा ecosystem है उनके पास. They have workspace, they have cloud, they have their own LLMs, they have their own Gemini agents. So could you tell us what the evolution of Gemini and Google in 2025 that has been, and if you can share some insights from your experience there?
Yeah, absolutely. We're sitting on December 1st, 2025, and if we had just spoken 3 days ago, it would have been a totally different conversation. So that's the pace at which we are progressing. Every hour feels like 1 century worth of new items. But as of today, Gemini 3 has launched, and Gemini 3 means we are moving away from, or actually we are moving ahead of the multimodality. We're working towards a world where agent can interact with another agent. But specifically what it means for people like us, it means more employee productivity, more collaboration, more seamless collaboration. In terms of software developers, one of the questions I always get asked is AI going to take over the jobs? I feel like in a way AI is very intelligent. It learns from humans in the way we learn. So in a way it is very smart, but the act of asking the right question, it still keeps us in the loop of guiding AI what to do. But with Gemini 3, what's something that recently came up was anti-gravity. It's a software development tool where actually you don't even have to build a piece of software which has ABC components. Now you can just say, build me something, and it understands how to break it down into components, and it creates the glue between those components. And so that's one of the most revolutionary things that has launched today. It truly opens up the world where one agent will be talking to another agent, and that agent will talk to another agent, and in a way you are just a manager overseeing a bunch of agents working for you, but you are still equally important in the whole ecosystem of life cycle. I think the art of thinking, the art of asking the right questions become even more meaningful in today's world. And I think as the life becomes easier, it gives you more time and space to think about more profound questions. At least that's what I'm realizing, that my questions and my thought process has become more profound and deeper. So Gemini 3 has come up. We are seeing a lot of momentum with new multimodality, where you can create automatic videos, you can create automatic voiceovers just by giving a couple of prompts. And previously, a few months ago, it used to take a couple of different applications to achieve that. Now you can do it with one app with one prompt. So it's quite useful.
Oh my God. वैसे हमने सुना था no code programming. आप तो बोल रहे हो अब no code, no nothing. Requirement की भी जरूरत नहीं है. One liner में the agents will talk to agents and everything will just be seamless.
And I've been reading her stuff that she's done in the article that she's published. I was kind of consuming this word action models, and she said, the machines have moved away from thinking machines now to action machines.
Right.
And what I was kind of visualizing in my own thought process, that, hey, does it mean that, hey, can you go and book a ticket for me? I'm going to Vegas, and book the hotel and car, and a place in my favorite restaurant, and all from the agent. And you know what? Please use my Chase credit card for this, and it'll be done in 2 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Agentic. Yeah, that's the
Agent.
agentic commerce. Yeah, you just have to tell what you want to do. It's almost like a genie at this point. Tell us about the no-code platform that you've been working with, or what insights do you have as an insider? We know from a consumer point of view, oh, this is what my code looks like. Explain this better, or how can I refactor this? That's been the use of AI so far. But in the no-code platform, what are you seeing that will change and evolve, especially from a technologist who are used to writing code in the old-fashioned or mainstream way?
Yeah, there are two ways to answer this question. The one is, I think it has become a term now, vibe coding. You can think of an idea and ask an LLM, and it creates an app for you. With the latest launch of Gemini 3, it is actually one of the greatest development in the history of LLMs yet. If you Google something called as a LLM leaderboard, just like we have leaderboards for everything in life, there's a leaderboard for LLMs, and Gemini 3 is ranking #1. It has come way ahead of other models. In fact, just 2 hours ago, Sam Altman just launched a code red in OpenAI, and the reason was that he says, stop everything, we have to beat Gemini 3. So that's like the level of importance it has taken CEO's mind to to stop everything and focus on that. So the point being, it can now not just vibe code apps, but where you have to sit and oversee. It can code the entire end-to-end processes as well. There is another no-code application that I work with as a part of Google. It's called AppSheet. It comes as a part of Google Workspace, where you can connect enterprise databases and take actions on it. But it's more from an enterprise perspective, and companies who adopt, let's say, AppSheet, they see that they are able to move away from pen and paper filing system. Imagine you have people on the floor working for you, and they're taking some notes on the paper, but they have to still keep a stock of the inventory in the back. Hey, so did something run out? How do they know? They don't. They take notes and they go back and then they check manually. So that can all be removed with the help of AppSheet. It helps you drag and drop elements and connect with database, and just with click of buttons, it lets you take an action. But even with that now, you need to take certain action, but now with vibe coding, it can be gotten rid of completely.
Absolutely. So you spoke about no code, and what other things are you guys working on? Can you stay close to the mic, because I think it's harder to hear. So beyond large language models, what is the most significant trend that you're noticing? Anything, because I think you are very immersed in the world of AI. What are the top trends that you're noticing, and if you have any predictions for 2026, what will we see?
Yeah, and also where do you think the VC money is going?
Absolutely.
Right? Because there are people are talking about building trillion-dollar companies, and where is that traction going? Where is that momentum building?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I go to a lot of VC conferences, and one thing they always say is, just because you say the word AI doesn't mean we're going to give you our money.
Yeah.
But they still expect you to have AI in it. So that's kind of like a dichotomy. It's like one of those things, if you don't say it, you're in trouble. If you say it, you're in trouble. But they expect you to have it. But jokes apart, the main piece of the world where we're heading towards is definitely agentic AI, but we're moving towards more physical AI. What that means is, how can you use AI towards more autonomous robotics infrastructure? I envision a world maybe in the next couple of years where there'll be less people doing work because everything will be done by robots. And so what do you do with the free time? You use that free time to be with your family. You use that free time to think more difficult questions, and then probably solve a different set of problems that you're not thinking of today. Maybe like next 10, 20 years, money might not be as important because things will be done. And so what do you need money for? So then the problems will be less of what we see today, but more of how can we have more meaningful discussions with people around us. But definitely a lot of investments are going into the robotics and autonomous agentic AI ecosystem, the physical AI ecosystem. But then the next question begs is, how do you enable this on a large global scale? So that's a thing that what's stopping from achieving that reality is the energy crisis. In order to provide power to all of these systems, we need enormous amount of energy. And there used to be a world where chip was the blocker, but unfortunately, chip is not a problem anymore, because we have, in fact, an oversupply, or we can reach to a stage where there is a supply of chips. But energy is the real game, and whoever can build more data centers, not just build, but supplied by solar energy, sustainable energy. So in fact, Google is one of the few companies in the world who has started this project to have data centers which are fully solar power capable, so very sustainable, zero carbon footprint, and they mean to have a lot more for sustaining all these AI needs.
I want to hear from you your thoughts on the TPU versus the GPU discussion, because I heard that recently Meta bought those TPUs and those tensor processing units actually are a property of Google, and Google was probably the pioneer when those 8 guys got together and built the AI story about 10 years ago. But seems like the NVIDIA H100 and these GPUs, which are so much in demand, that they're booked for 2027. However, recently in last week, I saw this development where TPUs are being ordered by one of the leading Magnificent 7 companies. So what are your thoughts on that? And again, this is from a user's perspective, though, so you don't have to give us insider information, but what might really benefit our listeners at large.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny. Google was never the first in anything. If you think about search, we were like 10 years late. Bing started, Microsoft Bing was something, and then there were a couple of other search engines that came, and search was not that unique or novel in 1990. But still, you can't think of a world today where you can't live a day without Google. Google search is ubiquitous and kind of indispensable in today's world. So TPUs and GPUs are similar. We may not be the first one, but I say we, but Google may not be the first one, but it's actually the intention was always to build everything from ground up. Everything was in-house, from the basic infrastructure to the data centers to the software to the models. Everything is in-house. So the top to bottom architecture, everything is custom built to support large scalable AI needs. And so it was just, I think, a matter of time when the TPUs met the innovation where we needed in today's world. And so Meta realized that. They saw that, this is Google is supporting their own innovation. Of course, we use other chips as well, but TPUs was one of the innovations that is massively overperforming. In fact, our latest chip, Willow, was top ranked again. So Meta found that opportunity to collaborate with Google, and I think this is such a timely joint venture anyways, because we need more tech companies to be talking to each other, to be developing with a common goal in mind, which is the betterment of humanity. And the more companies work together with each other, there's less competition and more benefit for the greater good of the community.
Got it.
Awesome.
And we spoke about physical AI, and that's where you got me. You have my money. मेरी चाय कोई और बना दे, right? Bringing us back to the chai topic.
Yeah.
कि कोई चाय बना दे, laundry folding, like these are the things that I really need AI to help me with. बाकी सब हम figure out कर लेंगे. Bringing us back to saving time. हम बहुत सारा time बचा सकते हैं. And with the limited time that people keep complaining about, Pooja, you've done so much, right? Tell us a little bit about how do you manage this dancing career, your yoga instructor, for all my listeners and who are watching us on Facebook. You do all these things with the given time. जब AI आ जाएगा तो तुम अपनी time के साथ क्या करने वाली हो? Where will all this time go?
I think this is such an existential question, and I'm so glad I have backup hobbies. So in case if I ever need to, I can become a full-time dance teacher. And I think that I'm very fortunate is that I started dancing about 36 months, 30 years ago.
Did you say 30 years ago?
I was gonna say something months, but years. 30 years ago, and I did try different hobbies. I want to be so transparent today that it's so easy to define passion today, follow your passion, but it's not something you just get it. You have to try so many things. So before liking dancing, I did try instruments, I tried music. Even before dancing, I tried different styles of music, dancing, such as Kathak, Odissi back in India, and eventually I landed in Bharatnatyam. And so I loved it so much that I eventually got a degree in Bharatnatyam. Can you believe there's a degree in Bharatnatyam? It's a practical and theoretical exam. I continued in that journey. Then I took up Western styles, jazz, hip hop, contemporary. I represented India on national and state level. And then I continued dancing journey here in Bay Area. I've been a dance instructor for different dance companies, and I still continue to explore and learn new styles such as bachata these days, little Latin dance styles. This is good because it keeps your left brain cells, which are not actively utilized, active, but also it gives you an opportunity to learn from different skills and apply it towards your daily job. I bring this because in a world where we think, how can we still be relevant after 10 years and how can we still add value? It is important to not just be unidimensional or think in one line. So have a hobby, have a passion. Don't think of it as something that you're doing it just to distract your mind, but be strategic about it so that if you can learn today, maybe you can teach somebody else tomorrow, and that might be what the world needs.
Did you know Dr. Sam is a great singer, but I recommend Pooja's dancing classes to you, Dr. Sam. I haven't seen you dance, but that's something that Dr. Sam is a great singer, is what I've heard, and so maybe you should join Pooja's classes.
Absolutely. ऐसे तो न देखो कि हमको नशा छा जाए
हो जाए. I'm a QC person here. So आपने अपनी dance journey के बारे में बताया. You're a Bharatnatyam dancer. Tell us about your yoga journey. You're a yoga instructor as well. How did that come about, and how do you use it in your day to day? And also follow up to that is, ये जब AI आ जाएगा, जो बचे हुए time के साथ, what are your future wish list items that you want to cross off?
Oh, that is such a good and a difficult question. I'm an overthinker by hobby, and so all these
Plus one to that.
all my Virgo girls out there, maybe they
Yeah.
can relate. I think so. Back to yoga question. I grew coming from New Delhi, from India. I feel like there are certain things which are in our DNA, and yoga is one of those. You see people, you learn things. There, yoga used to be happening in my park every day. I used to go down with the walk with my grandmother or with my mother. So I used to passively absorb all these things. So it was never a stranger to me. But over the past couple of years, I realized that maybe, because it comes so naturally to me, I should maybe start giving back to the community. So there's this studio called Core Power Yoga in Santa Clara. I've been going there for last 3 years, and we think of yoga as yoga asanas, like some physical contortion movement. That's a part of yoga. That's an asana. That's in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. There are 8 sutras, and one of them is the physical part. But then there are 7 more, which is the yamas, the tapas. Are you willing to live a life which is full of contentment, happiness? Are you not hurting somebody? Are you forgiving people easily? Do you lead the life with non-stealing? For example, even when you talk in a group setting, if you are the one who's talking the most, you're kind of in a way stealing somebody else's time to speak. So are you being mindful of that even? So it comes down to living a life from the principle of how can you be more mindful. So that in a way made me more aware of what truly being mindful means. So lately I thought, because I understand this so fundamentally, this is a good time to give back to the community. So I did what anybody would do, got a certification in the Vinyasa Yoga and a Sculpt series. It's a combination of weightlifting with yoga because we have to make it a little Western here. And personally, weightlifting is really good. I do weightlifting 3 times a week. So that helped me gain so much strength. Sitting on the desk every day, I realized the lower back needs so much support. So doing the Sculpt yoga made my lower back very strong. And in a way, it helped me get back to a better position in life.
Absolutely. So we are almost out of time, but I see a future where you will have these physical AIs जो एक योगा सिखाएगा and you will program them all. एक dance सिखाएगा और sculpture और जो भी तुम्हें करना है, and you didn't tell us about the future plans. Anything else on your wish list that यार ये भी करना है, ये करना बच गया है? Anything else that on your mind?
You know what? I think dancing, yoga, plumbing, or all the physical aspects, actually, I may be one of those people who think will not be replaced by AI because these are the things where people actually like to go in a studio or be with somebody. I think if we learned one thing from pandemic was we don't want to work out with an online gym membership.
Right.
We bought yoga, we bought Zumba memberships, we bought Pelotons, but what happened after 2 years? People are using them to dry clothes, and like the treadmills are probably catching some dust. So one thing we learned from pandemic is the physical aspect of people being close to each other will never go away. And I think if there's one thing with certainty I can say that for the next couple of years is anything that brings people together, be it community forming, let's say the art of live events these days. Why do Taylor Swift conferences get sold out so quickly? Why do live shows get sold out too quickly? Because the inherent feeling is connecting people, and when people connect with each other, they get this feeling of serotonin and the happy hormones come, and I don't think AI can ever replace that.
All right then.
Pooja, I want to ask you a question. Recently, I heard Elon Musk, probably in Saudi Arabia or somewhere, saying that work will be optional and currency will lose its meaning. So there will be abundance of everything. And I was wondering, what will I do then, man, if there is no money, motivation for money, and there's no motivation for work?
You will sing songs. That will be my answer.
By the way, I also run marathon. I ran a full marathon on my birthday.
There you go. So you will run marathons and you will sing songs and you will do all these wonderful things. So we have 2 minutes to go. Before we let you go, any message to all the young women listening out there? There are so many women in tech, and all of us are doing, lots on our plate, lots on our mind. If you can just give a message from a tech leader like yourself to all our listeners, especially to women, what would your message be for 2025?
Yeah, thank you. I think this question is so much more relevant when it comes to thinking of future, but also current. I do a lot of mentoring for STEM women. I'm an interview panelist for young women from universities of Santa Barbara and a lot of other universities. I host them at Google as well. We talk about future. I do a lot of community service. So one thing I've realized while talking to people is people are actually, they're so mature, they're so aware of their choices that they have today. They know exactly what they want, they know exactly what they don't want. So I don't want to preach in a way that makes people think I already know this. But truly, we don't know what the world might look like tomorrow. So might as well just focus today on something that you can experiment, fail fast, and be open to learning. But also at the same time, be really good at something. I don't think many people emphasize that, but it's good to be jack of all trades. But in 2025, just pick something you're really, really, really good at, and that is going to serve so much more in the future than being good at many things.
Amazing. Very well said. Thank you so much for this lovely conversation. Dr. Sam, thank you so much for bringing such a beautiful talent into, and not just this, but all talents that you bring here. Thank you so much for Tech Chai with Dr. Sam. Thank you, Pooja Jain. That was Pooja Jain joining us today on a Tech Chai. We'll see you next week, same time, same show. Keep it locked to 15:50 a.m.